Welcome to this week's Ask the Team. Absolutely delighted to be here in number 14 Castle Street with two of the three members of Open Home. We've been working with Open Home over the last few months, but what you guys have achieved in such a short time scale, I am astounded by. It looks incredible.
Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, we don't like to let the grass grow under our feet, so to speak. We like to be incredibly busy. So.
You definitely have, haven't you? And I love what you've been doing on socials over the last few days, but also, Tony, you've been quite involved with Destination Chester, 15-minute city, which of course is close to our hearts.
It is. We're fully invested in the city. We think the city is absolutely beautiful, but interestingly, we think it's on the cusp of a renaissance, if we could say that. COVID had a negative impact on most cities, certainly hurt Chester, but Chester's recovering now. Really, really strong independent F&B scene, really strong independent retail scene. We're doing a lot of work with some of the policymakers in the city because we think the next big focus for the city has to be people living here.
Yes.
So people living, working, playing, learning in the city, and that's what the 15-minute city is all about. So yeah, outside of Open Home and our other businesses, we've decided to get deeply involved in what the future of Chester should be and how Chester can enter into that renaissance and reinvent itself yet again, which it's done for hundreds of years, really successfully.
You know, and we're seeing as agents, there's so many people that are coming in from out of area, they're choosing Chester as the destination. They no longer want the very large cities, London and Manchester. The influx has been great. And, you know, I love what you're doing, collaborating with other independents to really make that even more special than it is.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's all about partnerships and collaboration. It's all about that. I mean, we come with sort of a joint 40 years experience in the property, the design and property world. Well, Monica's the young bit, so she adds 5, I had 35. But the point to that is, you know, we've seen sort of cities change, we've seen what's happening out there, we recognise this influx, but we also recognise that the richest projects we've ever been involved in throughout our careers have always been where they've been collaborative projects.
Absolutely, and even this project 14 Castle Street has been an amazing kind of a ground for us to test our skills, but also develop those connections, develop the collaborations, and it's through working with a great shop fitters to deliver very good quality spaces, functional spaces, working with great designers, but also bringing in local brands, local artisans,
I love that.
Local products to show what Chester lifestyle is really about. This space is just a celebration of Chester lifestyle and having everything on your doorstep, which fits so nicely with a 15-minute city philosophy.
It so does.
It does.
So all of this is kind of interweaved and interconnecting, and hence our next kind of venture that comes along as well, which we're very excited about. Which comes our way as well. Yes, we're looking at the pop-up experience that would become a shop window to what Open Home is about and what Monika Studio brings as a design element to the company as well.
So that is really, really hot off the press.
Absolutely.
Literally.
Probably first time we're talking about it.
It's the first time we're talking about it, yes. And we will be very nervous after this now because we've officially told everybody.
Wow. So it's going to be a shop that will serve coffee.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're collaborating with Jaunty Goat in relation to that. But it's also going to be homewares too, isn't it?
It is. It's kind of a take or inspiration of this traditional way people come and shop in Chester. It's not an online experience. It's about being there, appreciating the product, appreciating the atmosphere. It's about customer journey. And yes, and we will be collaborating with great brands, very conscious brands, who agreed to work with us. And it's about providing this holistic experience, not only about delivering those great spaces, but giving people opportunity to purchase pieces which can enhance their life as well and inspire them to make it a bit more special, more curated.
And I love that the items that you're going to have in that shop
Yeah,
are truly unique to you guys. You know,
Yeah.
you're accessing something that
Yeah.
can't be bought.
yeah,
Yeah.
the-
I love that sourcing.
absolutely. We are aiming to work with the brands which are nowhere, which are unique for the area.
Yes.
To give our customers this unique experience, and these are companies who really providing who are really game changers in a design market, and we believe that unique style of open home, we want to kind of share it with the audience.
Yeah. And it's so important that it's sustainable, and you know, everything you guys do is very
Yeah,
chic
it's-
and modern. And
It's an idea that, you know, just like we striving for timeless design in a fashion, we striving for timeless design in the, you know, in a homeware. We think there is a opportunity to bring in pre-loved design and allow people to share and exchange products, exchange experiences about them, and just kind of go for a bit more for the concept which has a bit more story behind.
yes. Yeah, it's deep, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's circular as well, and that's quite important to us. You know, we ran a very big commercial practice. Historically, we had a lot of staff worked all over the UK, and it's commercial. You know, the concepts of circular economy or recycled or whatever it might be, pre-loved, it's there in theory, but it's greenwashing, as we like to call it. And
Yes.
that's because these businesses have got to make sense commercially, a really high volume on a big scale. And we said, look, the only way we're really going to deal with that is we have to be the client. We have to be the investor, have to be the client. It has to be our money backing our belief, because otherwise it's difficult. And the reality is we can only do that on a kind of unique boutique scale. You know, so for us, this property was on its knees. It hadn't been invested in 25 years. It was one bed, one bath. We stripped it back to shell. It's now 2 bed, 2 bath in the same space, just much more cleverly done.
Unbelievable. I mean, I remember coming in here the first time and seeing the layout, and I've got to be honest, I wasn't sure you were going to be able to pull it off, because what you've done doesn't feel, you know, it feels it feels double the footprint, really, from what it was. But, you know, you basically took it back to a plain piece of paper and built it again, didn't you, inside out?
Yeah, and that really comes back to some of the values that Open Home stands for. I mean, for us, talk about this circular thing again very briefly. We are wholly committed and putting our money where our mouth is, so to speak, on making sure that some of these gems and these heritage properties and these places that have stood empty for ages, especially commercial stuff,
Yes.
is now reinvested in and given another life. And that in itself is part of the circular economy. You know, they're second-hand buildings that we're reinvesting and bringing up to speed. So that's one. You know, we're very, very sensibly sourcing in terms of what we source and put in. But again, going to the shop, that's part of the circular thing for us as well, because the part of Open Home is, look, you can walk into this place and you can buy it with the rugs, with the independently procured artwork, with the books, with the TV. You can buy exactly, even with the knives and forks, if you like. And that's great. But if you don't want to, what we don't want to do is roll this sofa into the next property and the next property and the next property, because that's not what it's about.
No.
Each property is unique. So we need an outlet as well for then, okay, what do we do with this? So for us, this is pre-loved.
Yes.
So it's pre-loved, and we can bring it to the market as pre-loved via the shop. So, okay, there's a cost in terms of commercial costs to that. But the beauty for us is it's not going on a skip. We're not rolling the same stuff out.
And that's
every
a
time
really
again.
good point. So at the moment, we're ready to go with this one, and this will be launching in the next few days. It's really exciting to see some of the material that you guys have done, and we've done some material which is coming from a slightly different angle, but it works
Absolutely.
incredibly well. So this is coming to market, and this is a different style concept to the next one, which will follow very soon. It isn't one style fits all at all.
No.
It's
that's the beauty of Chester, really, that each property is different, which inspires you to come up with a very individual theme. So this one, for example, all the colors and all the textures, inspiration comes from the food F&B scene of Chester, the food festival of September. When the other property is a bit more neutral, it has a different color palette. It's because the spaces inspire you, and thanks to that, we are providing something for every taste, and makes the purchase of the place very unique, but also very it's holistic the way they are designed.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and you know, that's kind of a response not just to location but to light. Light's a big deal.
Yeah.
In the next one, you know, it benefits from those huge doors that open up, the south sun comes in. Literally, you could sit there at your dining table with the doors open and the sun across the dining table all afternoon. And so that's got a completely different feel in terms of the colours that we've chose. They respond a bit different to the south light coming in. So again, this goes back to sort of individuality. And to be honest, you know, for us, when we were talking about this circular thing, you've just mentioned about how we're doing different media and styles. I think that's really important too. We wanted to find a partner here in Chester to work with us, which we've done in Curran's Unique. And for us, it was the unique piece. We've seen some of the stuff you do, some of the properties you sell, and we wanted to be within that unique mould. And we also, selfishly, wanted to monopolise the experience that you've got in that market. And we've talked a lot about our media stuff, all of us. And we've said, look, you know, Curran's do Curran's brilliantly. They're a well-established brand. They understand the value of brand identity and what they do and how they're committed to that professionalism and their brand through. We're developing our brand alongside yours.
Yes.
It's a true partnership.
It is.
With individual identities that really complement each other. And I think, you know, that's what we're looking for with all of it and everybody we get involved in. And it's just, it's just nice to be working with nice people. We've just had that conversation with someone.
It's so exciting. And I love that, you know, we work together, but you're working with a number of local companies like Excuse Me. You deal with them, and Jaunty Goat, of course.
We got partnership coming up with Osier. There's several people we've been.
And there's another one I'm just thinking of. Who's the laundry? No.
Oh, the fashion.
The fashion.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
well, we're going to.
Is that a bit secret?
Yeah, okay. It's a bit secret. We'll.
Okay.
We're not quite ready
later.
We're not quite ready to spill the beans on that, but
so. No. What can we spill the beans on? This is going to launch very soon. Then it will be followed by number 16, which is hot on the tails
beginning
of
of
that.
September. We also got planning permission for our property on Whitefriars.
I love that.
That's gonna be we're starting works pretty
well
much
today.
Didn't the scaffolding go up today?
Yes.
Scaffolding arrived yesterday, and it was hoarded off. So we're ready for some big advertising coming soon.
And that is going to be incredible. So that's going to be a family house with the most amazing roof terrace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And we're going to have some really exciting CGI on that, aren't we? And
definitely.
And you're going to be doing a studio still, are you, behind that?
No, what we can tell everybody is we have effectively put the studio on hold.
Okay.
And for the simple reason that the pop-up store is giving us an opportunity to kind of rethink how we present ourselves. We think the pop-up store could also be a kind of studio.
So we're going to move in there, use the space.
Oh, I love that.
Meet our audience, talk to people, understand what they think about our brand, and engage a bit better, and then see where that's gonna take us.
And are we allowed to announce the address of your new shop?
Absolutely.
Studio?
Yeah. So it will be 11 Lower Bridge Street.
Wow.
In terms of other things that we've got going on, we have also purchased the office space above 11 Lower Bridge Street, which is 11A. That's a beautiful old house. It was a single house. It's got a rear yard, but it's also a row property. So we've got the stalls and the rows, which have come with a title. It's currently occupied as office. They're all on short leases. So we intend to put a planning application in at the end of this year for that.
Right.
So the idea will be residential above. But again, really, really unique
High-end.
stuff. I mean, that's got a huge sort of, vaulted ceiling spaces, panelled rooms. It's got original sort of Georgian timber archways inside that go into what would have gone into the former lounge spaces. But again, that seemed very, very poor investment. So it's got modern suspended ceilings in. They replaced the windows from the Georgian sashes. So we're going to reinvest handmade Georgian sash windows. We're going to restore the staircase. There's a beautiful staircase goes up. So it'd be a big restoration project for us. We work with a lady called Kirsty Henderson, who is a heritage specialist. She's a former member of the City Council's heritage team. So Kirsty advises us and she really cares. So we work with Kirsty not because we want to get stuff under the radar, actually the opposite. We work with Kirsty because she is committed to restoration, and if she thinks it's inappropriate, it's inappropriate. And we go. So again, it's kind of the anti-developer model, our model.
Yeah.
And I'm sure anybody listening to this is going to say, well, how the hell are you going to make any money? Well, you know what? We're having some great fun, and we care about what we do, and that's got real value to us. So yeah, I think.
Thank you for sharing all of that. I think that's, it is such an inspiring journey that you're on, and it's incredible to work alongside you. Please do, if you've got any questions at all, please do reach out to the Currents Unique team, or indeed the Open Home team. We'll leave all the links in this post. Thank you very, very much for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.